I'm currently Head of Service for Learning Disability Services, Assessment and Care Management and Review Services, and that's basically managing the whole city social work teams for learning disabilities. I started work with the City Council in 1982 as a care assistant, and have basically done a number of care jobs, a number of management jobs, and I became Head of Service in, I think it was 2005, 2006.
And so what originally attracted you to social work?
Well, that's a really interesting one, because I always wanted to be a nurse, and when I lived in Leeds, and when I came to Birmingham, I've always been good with people, and I've always cared about people, and I've always wanted to do something like that. And my previous role was a dressmaker, making clothes for Marks and Spencer's. So I wanted to do something and give something back really to the community. So when I came here, when I came to Birmingham when I got married, I applied to be a medic, an ambulance driver, but there was such a long waiting list. So applied for various jobs and eventually applied for a care assistant post. I won the Black Managers Award for Innovation and Creativity, and then I won it again in 2006 and 2007.
And do you sort of feel a responsibility as a role model for other black women? What are some of the challenges you think they might face when thinking about pursuing a career in social work?
I do see myself as a role model for other black women, for other women and other people, because it's not easy. And I think there are lots of challenges, and one of the things I would say is about persistence. Keep on at it. And I could have just given up and I wouldn't be where I am today. So I think, you know, you can, just because you start at a certain level doesn't mean that you can't aspire and climb, but you've got to do things for yourself as well.
And did you have any concept when you began that you'd be one day in the position of running a service and being awarded with an MBE?
Never. But having said that, you know, I have a belief, and I believe that, you know, if you really, really want something, you can get it. But I didn't set out for that. I always said, every job I went in, I used to say, oh, I'm happy where I am. And I didn't really have a career path. A lot of people have a career path set out for them to travel. I didn't have a career path like that. Everything I went into with my whole heart in terms of doing that, and I think that's an important thing, and then progress from there.
Do you think that social work in general is given the recognition it deserves by the wider population?
Definitely not. You know, the good things, there are so many people out there who give 150%, you know, and you get the negative media about things when they go wrong or they're not right, and you get a lot of complaints and things like that. But you know, there's a lot of people who work very, very hard and have got a commitment to services for people, and they don't all get the. I mean, you know, I've got recognised for this, and really how I see it is this is for the service, this is for the directorate, this is for the authority. It's not for me on my own.
What sort of things do you think social workers face that perhaps the wider public, as you say, they're influenced by the media? What sort of things do you think that they don't understand about what a social worker's day might be like?
I think that they don't understand the statutory responsibilities that we have. You know, they think that we just do things off our own back quite a lot, but we don't. You know, we work within a statutory legal framework, and sometimes that's difficult to understand. And because I also think that quite often people don't understand the pressure that social workers are under.
Do you think it's benefited you in terms of doing your job that you have got in on a grassroots level and worked your way up?
Definitely, because nobody could ever say to me, you don't know what it's like. You know, I became a care assistant, I was a day centre officer, I was a senior community worker, I was a deputy, I was a manager, I was a team manager, I was an operations manager, and I became head of service. So, you know, I've done it all the way up, and with different areas, not just learning disability. You know, I've worked in mental health, I've worked with physical disabilities, sensory disabilities, I've managed Meals on Wheels, I've managed transport, appointeeship, so it's not just one area.
Could you tell us a little bit about your family's reaction to the award? I'm sure they're very proud.
Yeah. I think like me, I think they think, you know, my daughter said to me, does this mean that you can go see the Queen any time?